Both Sheryl Crow and LeAnn Rimes, two of the most recognizable names in the music industry, served as mega mentors on The Voice Season 27 during the playoffs, which began on April 28, 2025. They provided their unrivaled knowledge to the competition. Their involvement brought the game to new heights, with Crow serving as a mentor to teams Kelsey Ballerini and Michael Bublé, and Rimes serving as a guide to teams John Legend and Adam Levine on their respective teams. All of the coaches began the playoffs with 5 artists, and the mega mentors were tasked with the responsibility of providing crucial guidance to these 20 participants in order to get them ready for high-stakes performances. Following the playoffs, only 2 artists from each team would be placed in the live shows. Crow and Rimes provided guidance that was not only useful, but also profoundly creative. They combined technical perfection with emotional sincerity in order to motivate a new generation of artists. This 1,000-word investigation honors their mentorship as a masterclass in creative cooperation, drawing on their illustrious careers and the paradigm-shifting influence they had on finalists on The Voice. Sheryl Crow, who has won 9 Grammys and is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and LeAnn Rimes, who has won 2 Grammys and became the youngest solo artist to win Best New Artist at the age of 14, are both familiar with the requirements that are placed on them by the music industry to perform. Crow's discography has sold 35 million CDs worldwide, whereas Rimes' discography has sold 48 million units worldwide. Both of these discographies demonstrate a mastery of craft and a tenacity. The music of Crow, who is famous for songs such as All I Wanna Do and If It Makes You Happy, combines elements of pop, rock, country, and folk music with a raw and feminist edge. The vocal prowess and emotional depth that Rimes possesses have allowed him to straddle country, pop, and worldwide stages with songs such as How Do I Live and Can't Fight the Moonlight, which have both topped the charts. Their experience, in conjunction with their previous connections to The Voice, Crow served as an advisor for Season 4, and Rimes served as a coach on The Voice UK and Australia, placed them among the most qualified individuals to lead hopefuls through the intense pressure that the playoffs bring. Within the context of The Voice, the playoffs represent a crucial stage in which performers are required to give performances that stand out in the face of intense competition. When it comes to their respective duties, Crow and Rimes address them with a creative philosophy. Mentorship is not about enforcing a formula, but rather about uncovering the personality of an artist. Crow, in collaboration with the teams of Ballerini and Bublé, highlighted the importance of authenticity as the foundation of a performance that will be remembered. She encouraged competitors to have a profound connection with the music they selected by drawing inspiration from her own career, in which songs such as Every Day is a Winding Road communicated personal narrative. By way of illustration, she suggested to Adam David, a member of Team Bublé, that he incorporate a sense of vulnerability into his performance, and that he let the audience feel your story more than just hear it. Crow's view that creativity flourishes when artists let go of pretense and embrace their own distinctive voice is reflected in this piece of advice. This is a lesson that Crow has mastered over the course of decades of managing the demands of the industry. In her role as a mentor to both teams Legend and Levine, Rimes emphasized the importance of emotional connectivity and voice control, drawing from her own experiences as a teenage phenomenon. Her ballad, How Do I Live, which holds the record for most songs on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, is a prime example of her talent to portray unfiltered feelings, and she shared this gift with participants such as Ari Camille of Teen Legend. The advice that Rimes gave Camille was, "Your voice is a paintbrush. Use dynamics to color the story." Rimes instructed Camille to strike a balance between technical perfection and authentic delivery, by approaching each performance as a canvas where technical skill and emotional truth merge. Rimes' creative approach is encapsulated in this metaphor, which captures the essence of his creative approach. Because she had her own experience of breaking out at the age of 13, she was able to identify to the nerves and goals of younger participants, which made her coaching extremely powerful for those contestants. Their mentoring had a significant impact on the participants' creative abilities, as evidenced by their performances. Under Crow's direction, Alana Linus of Team Kelsey was able to modify her performance of a country song by concentrating on tiny vocal inflections. This was a technique that Crow offered in order to express authenticity. The advice that Crow gave to the participants was appreciated on X by fans, such as, who noted that LeAnn's performance seemed like a conversation with the audience. Crow's counsel was praised for helping contestants find their core. Similarly, Rhymes' stage presence was elevated as a result of his collaboration with Britton Moore of Team Adam. In order to improve his emotional delivery, Rhymes suggested that Moore make use of movement, which was a piece of advice that resonated with her own experience of commanding worldwide platforms. A performance that was characterized as electrifying by critics was the end product, and it demonstrated how Rhymes' mentoring transformed technical guidance into artistic storytelling. Crow and Rhymes both contributed a sense of collaboration to their roles, which helped to create an atmosphere in which candidates felt emboldened to experiment. In contrast to the usual coaching style, which may at times come across as directive, their method was more comparable to a collaborative creative effort. Crow, who worked with musicians such as Stevie Nicks and Johnny Cash, approached the mentoring process as a conversation. He asked candidates questions such as, "What does this song mean to you?" in order to get them to reflect on some aspect of their own lives. Because of this strategy, Angie Ray, who is a member of Team Bubbly, was inspired to rethink her song selection. She went from performing a safe pop cover to performing a risky folk arrangement that demonstrated her versatility. Rhymes, on the other hand, utilized her support for mental health and authenticity, which was demonstrated by her podcast titled Holy Human, in order to establish a secure environment in which participants could freely express their weaknesses. According to Jacqueline George, who is a member of Team Legend, Rhymes was essential in assisting her in overcoming her stage fear by focusing on singing from the heart, not the head. Their guidance encompassed not only performance, but also the duration of one's career, which is an essential component of creative mentoring. Crow, whose album Evolution was released in 2024 and was her 11th studio album, provided her ideas on how to navigate the ups and downs that are inherent in the profession. Chasing what's popular can dilute your voice. Build a career on what's true to you, she cautioned Haley Wright, a member of Team Kelsey, advising her to put creative integrity over trends. This perspective, which could be traced back to Crow's own defiance of genre limits, struck a chord with the competitors who were under pressure to impress during the playoffs. Rhymes, who has completely reimagined herself across a variety of musical genres and venues, provided useful guidance on the topic of voice health and branding. She used her expertise touring since she was a teenager to guide Coldy Cordell, a member of Team Adam, through the process of maintaining his voice despite the demanding schedules he was under. Not only did these teachings provide candidates with tools for the competition, but they also armed them with tools for professions that are sustainable. Additionally, conventional stereotypes regarding mentorship in the music industry were challenged by the creative synergy that existed between Crow and Rhymes. They presented a perspective that encouraged contestants, particularly female singers, to own their narratives. Crow is a feminist icon of the third wave, and Rhymes is a youthful artist who is a trailblazer. Both of these women have shattered barriers in their respective fields. The presence of these individuals provided a model of leadership that was both nurturing and authoritative, helping to counteract the male-dominated mentorship roles that were prevalent in the sector. Kaya Hamilton, a participant from Team Bubbly, described Crow's encouragement to stand tall in your truth as a turning point in her confidence. This dynamic was extremely relevant for her since she recognized the significance of Crow's words. The ripple effect is where their mentorship has a greater impact than it would otherwise have. The Voice Season 27, which has garnered 46 million viewers across all platforms, is a cultural touchstone. Crow and Rhymes' counsel has stretched beyond the participants to encourage aspiring musicians who are watching the show at home. In this day and age of transient trends, there is a growing cultural need for genuine artistry, and their emphasis on authenticity, emotional depth, and durability meshes seamlessly with this want. They contributed to a legacy of mentorship that enhances the music industry by sharing their knowledge, which not only helps shape the playoffs, but also helps shape the legacy of mentorship. As Crow and Rhymes joined the ranks of previous mega mentors such as Taylor Swift and Keith Urban, their contributions stood out for their unique combination of creative insight and human connection. This demonstrated that genuine mentoring is an art form, one that has the ability to transform both the mentor and the mentee. At the end of the day, The mentorship that Sheryl Crow and LeAnn Rimes provided on The Voice Season 27 was a celebration of creativity as a force that operates via collaboration and transformation. These finalists were able to create performances that strongly engaged with the audience as a result of their coaching, which was based on honesty, emotive storytelling, and industry expertise. Through the cultivation of vulnerability, the encouragement of risk-taking, and the sharing of wisdom that they had acquired through hard work, they achieved a mentorship experience that was just as motivating as their music. It was their direction that ignited the stage as the playoffs progressed, demonstrating that creativity flourishes when artists are provided with the resources necessary to shine as their most authentic selves.